EA Sports is proud to present of the California Classic.
It's going for a little extra.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see.
Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle.
Great start.
Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
While it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down here, Rich. And it's really two bunkers that you've got to, or two complexes that you've really got to worry about. One down the left that you'll see is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a two-shot hole, and play it that way.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole.
Frank, I'm guessing as a player, this is the kind of shot you like. Early in the round, short par 4, nice look as you get set for the approach shot.
After a tough opening hole, Pete Dye gives you a chance here. Scoring club in hand, if you can get it to the right distance, even 15 feet right of this flag, very much a birdie chance.
Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Frank, 100 yards longer than the second hole. The third, 471 yards. What do you think of this hole?
This is totally different to the previous hole. Driver should be out of the bag here. And if you can take that first bunker out of play, which is around that 285, 290 yard mark, you can start to shorten this hole up a little bit. And, well, the longest hitters, they still might even get a short iron in hand.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Second shot, good look at the green.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Birdie try up next.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Yeah, that's a good drive right there. Got all of it.
Did you hear the sound?
Yeah, about 145 yards left here. Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. What a hole this is. 255 yards, par 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
It's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Headed for the bunker? Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
And he's made the green. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This for par. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a free shot like it is for everybody else.
Well, that's the way you draw it up here at the 8th. You want to get it out there. He's done that, and he's kept it in the fairway.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Not his best stuff right there. In the hole, and a birdie. Frank, the 9th hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West, 617 yards. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Here we go. That is just an outstanding shot right there. And now a chance for an eagle. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11 at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. You can hit it far enough down there, you can get close to this green, but if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Frank, this is no easy shot here at the par 3 13th.
Yeah, 13th hole. I mean, it's so appropriate, the number of the hole for this this design by Pete Dye. Wooden bulkheads, I mean, they give you sort of that harsh look. And this is just an absolute scorecard wrecker. You get a little cavalier here, you just rack up a number. There's nothing wrong with just hitting it to the right side of the screen, just taking the three.
Birdie try again here today. Beautifully done. That's a birdie. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're a shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Fourteenth hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really: poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Attack the pin. Second shot now at 15. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Good putt. Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. But if you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage. But you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16.
Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. On his third here at the par 5. No problems there.
He keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in the bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2. Surely not.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
That will be a great look at birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie.
Good read, good line, well played.
And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
I tell you, there's long and long, and that with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine to have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you get a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Oh, man, you can't miss him from that distance. Settles in over the putt. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time.
All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Dwindling the holes down. Pars are fine right now.
Down to the par 5 5th hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. You can't leave an eagle putt short.
Now listen, anytime I left it short, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody I left it short.
Starting to make a nice move. 5 under with that birdie for the tournament. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 5th hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot played just a fraction uphill. And this green, well, it's got more humps and hollows in it.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Well,
Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole. More than a bonus on the scorecard, though.
Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up, just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch, you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and it's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards, and what are we looking at?
Oh, he is winding this one up. Doesn't have the power, though.
Looks to be putting everything into this one. Just destroy it.
Smoked that one. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Good effort and good par putt. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, what do we have on this approach shot?
One of the longer second shots at Wolf Creek here at 10, and really, if the flag is back right, that's when you're going to have to be careful, because the second shot's going to have to be struck perfectly to avoid that pop bunker on the right, as well as not run over the back of the screen. Anything on the left side of the screen, though, you can pitch it towards the middle. It should kick a little bit towards the left, but left side of the green is like green light, and you've got to be a little...
Setting himself up for a good weekend, the Wiley golf instructor makes his birdie. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself. Try not to look at the canyon in the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just an unbelievable round thus far, and 12 under on the day. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th, it measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
Well, this could be good.
Just a sensational shot. He will have that for an eagle.
Amazing. Just like that, pick up 2 on the field.
He's made it. Now to the 13th hole, and, oh, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. You probably want to play a little left of it, have a little pitch up the hill, but if you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can.
Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles, but it certainly is something to watch.
Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
It's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side. So you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here, and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should sit up nicely for a birdie.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, what a birdie. Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left. Tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. You'll need to catch this solid 190 yards away. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity. He's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Continuing to play well, a birdie. '18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you expect to hit it close.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1.
You want to know the difference between good scores and average scores? That.
Right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good putt.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
Grab the fire extinguisher, put out the... That ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Good swing, good shot yet again. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. Just 5 feet left. What a tremendous display of golf this has been.
Certainly throwing an eagle against the field, too. We've seen it all. Birdies, eagles, just blitzing the field from start to finish.
Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there, and yep, good thing too. He's actually putting well.
Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Oh, that's for sure. It plays a little longer than that too by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. And he's made the green. Just a little tap in here.
Great sense of speed in that. We know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Here at the fourth, 383 yards from the back tee. It's a dogleg right, but Frank, looking at all of those bunkers, you could really make a mess of this hole if you stray.
You can. That's why you've got to simplify it. Just something there that's going to find the fairway. Even like 3-wood and a wedge, that's really all this hole's going to require. Avoid the canyons on the left and in the desert, as well as just, I don't know how many bunkers there is on the right side. So a little bit of fairway up the left, find that there, and really, you should be looking at a birdie putt.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
In the hole for birdie. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it? Because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you can see you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. He got away with one right there. Just missed that bunker.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand the whole way.
Frank, chip shot here from just on the fringe. You like to hit this the way you would a putt?
Yeah, I normally take a club that's going to land just on the flat surface of the green, then run from there. Often people take too much loft.
They par yesterday. This one for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, here at the sixth, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5, he's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. Drivable par 4. Not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water, so it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Getting set now over the putt.
Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Good looking shot right here. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
How does that not go in? Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Has it. That's birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long. Birdie try up next. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's how you keep a round going, make them from that distance. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around it. A good shot safely on the putting surface here. And this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Oh, hello there. Really nice putt. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. He's hit it very close, and he will have that, Frank, for an eagle.
Amazing how quickly the round changes. He'll quickly pick up 2 shots on the field.
13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. So a tester from 4 feet. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. As is par. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see. The other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. It's sort of 3 different tier levels in that. But let's see, birdies that have been made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Now to the 16th hole as we get set for the finishing stretch. And Frank, what's the best way to play this relatively short par 4?
Somehow you've got to straighten the hole up in your mind's eye, Rich. Just look all the way across that canyon. It looks like the hole was built straight, because really that's the way it should be played. If you start looking left and turning it into a dogleg, then all of a sudden bad things can happen. So look straight at the green. That's your line. Just try and bisect those 2 fairway bunkers.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in 1. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Just a couple of feet.
Really solid stroke.
Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left. Tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Continuing to play well, a birdie. '18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you expect to hit it close.
Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see two par fives back-to-back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And drops it in.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage.
Should be safely on deck.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. This is a 9-footer. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence. A great start.
Frank, there's so many impressive holes here at Wolf Creek, but the second really stands out.
Yeah, that tee box is at 9 stories high. It's hard to imagine you can tee up that high, and obviously, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power? No, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
That drops for another birdie. 2 in a row to start the round. All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? That finds the bottom of the cup. We'll call that a birdie. Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. Yeah, this hole's only 383 yards. It won't even really play its distance. But, of course, you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around there if you do miss this fairway.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Continues to roll it very well all day long. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it? Because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want it, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you've got to see, you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
Settles in over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at par 5 fifth hole also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot played just a fraction uphill. And this green, well, it's got more humps than hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up, just past those those bunkers on the right and the left, get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get it.
That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch, nerve, had it all, and he has the bottom of the barrel. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Go ahead and do that for birdie. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
good putt. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle.
Frank, what do we have on this approach shot?
One of the longer second shots at Wolf Creek here at 10, and really, if the flag is back right, that's when you're going to have to be careful, because the second shot's going to have to be struck perfectly to avoid that hot bunker on the right, as well as not run over the back of the screen. Anything on the left side of the screen, though, you can pitch it towards the middle. It should kick a little bit towards the left, but left side of the green is like green light, and you've got to be a little careful when the flag's on the right.
We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Okay, no problem with that one. Now to the par 5 12, pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. Then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12. Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
And they make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit tee balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, you couldn't hit that much better.
Just a couple of feet. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
See if he can give his round a real big boost. This putt is for eagle. So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
It's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. The hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long.
Should be safely on deck.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. seems to really have the touch today. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower in the level of this green.
Right in the heart. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other. But really, when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. These two bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely. So play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Beautifully done. That's a birdie. Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can. A good drive short of the little stream creek that runs across there, and this is doable as a two-shotter. If you find the bunkers or trouble off the tee, then obviously you're forced to lay up, leaving that third shot across the water. But really a fun hole if you want to try and take that second shot on.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So the short miss, and those are painful. Could really use this one. It's for birdie. Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really, a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 100, 70 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
That's good work right there. Just a tap in.
It's no snack, though. Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup.
Today it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through.
Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Frank, what does the shot into this first green look like?
Well, it's back a little bit up the hill. Bunkers left and right are really the biggest concern, but a well-flighted shot to this three-level green will be well rewarded. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Getting set now over the putt.
Great start.
Frank, you need to be a bit of a rock climber just to get to this second tee. 445-yard hole. What a view.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, what do you think about this approach here at the second hole?
Once again, we're going to go a little bit back up the hill. Really, there's only that one bunker on the right. That shouldn't be in play. Green goes uphill and a little bit to the left. So you've really got to try and make sure you work on the right distance there. Get that ball in the right tier where the flag is located.
Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Birdie. Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
So a tester from 4 feet. Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. Yeah, this hole's only 383 yards. It won't even really play its distance. But, of course, you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around there if you do miss this fairway.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. This would give him the par.
Well, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
How about this hole, Frank? Par 5 fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it? It's gone for a little extra.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. We're in the desert, partner. I need water.
You're going to get it here, Rich. Par 5 second hole's got a nice stream that runs down the left side. as well as cutting the fairway. There's a crop of some 3 bunkers down that right side. I want to avoid that, but Rich, this hole isn't too long. Under 500 yards, not even going to play that long, so very reachable. Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
They make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit tee balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Just has the feel today. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Wow, what a birdie. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet.
Great too.
Beautiful. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here, and chance too to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Really powering up here. Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
You're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
That's how you keep a round going, make them from that distance. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
There you have it. Well done. Great. Par 5, 12, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Oh, my goodness. He pumped it, he thumped it, he jumped it. What a drive. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. This would give him an eagle on the card. Oh, dude, that's an eagle. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what, I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back to back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare. You want to know the difference between good scores and average scores? That.
Right there. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. Hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side. So you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Continues to roll the ball very well. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
Birdie try again here today. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left and comes back to the right. But if you can just fixate at the green in the distance, you're actually going to look like a relatively straight par 4. And that's the way the hole should be played. Look at those first 2 bunkers that you see and just try and split those. Good tee shot here and nothing more than a wedge left into this green. Simplify it. That's the key.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left, tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. I like the looks of this one. Safely aboard. Getting set now over the putt. Good putt. '18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flicked wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
Seems to really have the touch today.
Rich, it came down to just a shot or two here or there, but we were treated some amazing golf this week.
Just one player standing, and that was earned, well-deserved, beautifully played.